Can you give us some tips about how you've handled criticism? Every leader, really everybody that leads a family or in the workplace, any kind of leader deals with criticism. And I think success and failure is largely dependent on how you process criticism. So give us some tips. You've been in ministry 30 years plus. How have you processed criticism in a beneficial way?
Well, I think in criticism, number one, I try to consider the source, okay? If criticism comes from someone that I generally respect, I have a greater ear to criticism. I also do not listen to the criticism of a critic. And what I mean by that is this: if an individual is known as a critic, they don't get my ear. If an individual is known as a very balanced person who is not nitpicking, and then they come with an issue, then they will get my ear. An example was a while back, one of our very, very good men who's never been a critic, he's always been very supportive, he came to me and he said, Pastor, he said, during the song service, he said, we stand entirely too much. He said, we have a significant elderly population in the church, and he said, we're standing too much. And he actually timed, I think, 22 minutes of standing in one service. And if he had been a critic, just mad about everything, I would have just brushed it aside as so much noise, okay, more noise. But because this man is very sincere, I took a moment to think and to pause. I got with my music director. We altered the order of service in order to have some seating time during the singing. And it has not hurt the service to do so, and I think people were helped by that. So I think I'm very responsive to reasonable people. Also, if I can correct something that is an irritant to a church member, I will try to correct that, okay? Now, have I in my life been criticized and lay awake at night? Yeah, I have. And there again, that comes from an undisciplined form of thinking, okay? There's a time to consider something, and then there's a time to stop thinking about it. And when you've done everything within your own power to correct a situation, you cannot. Here's another one. You want another one of our problems? We focus on outcomes. Every one of us. I do this too. We focus on outcomes rather than focusing on. You can't predict the outcome to everything, can you? Can you predict the outcome? No. Rather than focusing on the outcome, what I should think about only is my part in the process and how good I can do. If I've done my best in the process, the outcome has to be left to God. And to foment and to ruminate over outcomes is something that will drive you absolutely crazy. And so there's times you just don't think about it.
Yeah, very good.
If you just benefited from that content, I'd like you to do two things. Our church media team regularly publishes additional Christ-centered content. So the first thing I'd like you to do is subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss a single video. And the second thing I'd like you to do is share this video with others so that they also can benefit from Christ-centered content. All right? So these two things, subscribe and share. And thank you.